particularly in Arua City. Sports activities are going on well. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. Today I'm alone in the studio, driving all the departments, right from the goalkeeping department. You talk about the defense line. Midfield, I will be doing it alone, up to the attacking force. As I said, 16 days, not 16 rather, 14 days for us to finish this particular month of September. That means today is already 16th of September and the year is 2023. This is a whistle time that comes on your way from Mondays to Saturdays, of course, from the hour of 2 p.m. up to the hour of 3 p.m. The duration of the show is 1 hour, and today is actually the last day for this week for us to do whistle time. And players have been participating in the international break. I can confirm to you they have returned back, and I will start by giving you the highlights of the discussion. Yesterday was actually the return of the new season of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. A lot of games were played, and the newly promoted side, NEC FC, of course, battled it out with Mbara City. The two newly promoted sides had to battle it between themselves, and it ended by a slim win in favor of NEC FC. They were away to Katseka. Meanwhile, the other tense game was actually between Chitara FC, another newly promoted side into the top tier of Ugandan football. They were able to go past the Sports Club Villa. They beat Sports Club Villa by 2-1. There was another game between Bright Stars and Bull FC. Of course, we saw Bull FC beating the team, that's Bright Stars, by 1-0. Not only that, yesterday we discussed at length. I was together with Owen Ezaga, one of the soccer pundits. We actually discussed about Uganda Cranes, FUFA actually sacking Mito Serdovic, and also Abdallah Mubiru being appointed as the new assistant head coach of Crested Cranes. We also talked about those things, but we will not go back and discuss them again. We have been so many stories to be discussed in Ugandan football. One is all about the results I have already given in the day one of the new season of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. We will actually be doing discussion about how the games went, plus also the upcoming fixtures. Remember, today is actually Saturday, but the games will be returning back tomorrow. So many actions on the card. Will be in total having 4 games to be played, but the game between KCA and Express has been moved ahead. Why it has been postponed, I'll also be in person to give you the reason as to why the game has been postponed. What about Continental? Remember, a lot of stories also coming. The CAF Confederations Cup, where one of our team, that's Kasasiro Boys, KCCA, they are going to take part in one of the games against a team that comes from that side of Libya. Will also be doing discussion about that game, and their court expects the Kasasiro Boys to do a lot to see that the team actually goes to the group stages of the CAF Confederations Cup. And also away from that, the precursor tournament in Europe, we always call it UEFA Super Cup. And that one of CAF Champions League has already been played. It was played yesterday night actually between the team that won the CAF Champions League of 2022-2023. It was Al Ahly that won the CAF Champions League after emerging as the victorious side over the team that's Wydad Casablanca. And they played the game with a team called USM Alger, a team that comes from Algeria. And in the game, it ended in a slim win in favor of the team that's USM Alger. And winning the CAF Confederations Cup last season, they were able to beat our neighbors, that's Young Africans. We also be doing discussion about that one. Remember, currently, the preliminary rounds of the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup, they are going on. That's why they have already played the game, that's a CAF Super Cup, which always acts as a precursor ahead of the new season of the continental football. We'll also be doing discussion about that one. And also here within the country is all about the ongoing University League, when of course our own Western Nile-based university, Moon University, will be playing. We'll also be doing discussion about that one. How the other games are going, we'll also be doing discussion about that one. And the biggest of it is all about the return of English Premier League plus the other big European games. Remember in Italian Serie A, I remember yesterday we gave highlights of some of the big games to be played over the weekend in the top leagues we have in Europe. Yesterday night, I can confirm to you one game was played. It was actually between Bayer Leverkusen up against Bayern Munich, which ended in a 2-2 tie. And also in Italian Serie A, a very big derby coming between the team that's Inter Milan and AC Milan. This game is actually tomorrow. It's called San Siro Derby. And it was also another bad night for the team of Paris Saint-Germain. Actually, they were at Principality, they sparked the Princess, but they could not pick all the 3 points against a resilient Nice, as 2 goals from Kylian Mbappe were turned to be as a mere consolation goals after Luis Enrique picking his first defeat since he was appointed as the head coach of Paris Saint-Germain. But we will not only be talking about the game between Paris Saint-Germain and Nice, we will also be talking about the other fixtures to be played in French Ligue 1. What about in Spanish Primera Division? I can also confirm to you, one game was also played yesterday, Rayo Vallecano winning the game, but we are having so many games to be played today, tomorrow, up to on Monday, and a very big game actually. In fact, the big 3 we have in Spanish Primera Division, they will all be having tense encounters. I can give you an example with the game between Barcelona and Real Betis, though they will be at Catalonia. Meanwhile, Real Madrid, of course, they will also be having a tough game against their neighbors, that's Real Sociedad, and Atletico Madrid will have to leave Venda Metropolitan and travel to Mestalla to take on Valencia. I also talk about German Bundesliga, a lot of big encounters also coming. Freiburg, this time, can they be able to beat Borussia Dortmund? Meanwhile, Wolfsburg, can they be able to continue with their fine run of the season against Union Berlin? We'll also be doing discussions about these ones. And the Premier League nomination, the best personalities for the month of August have already been revealed, and it has been dominated by the personalities coming from the camp of Spurs. Who are these personalities? We'll also be talking about them, the best coach, the best manager of the month. You also talk about the best player of the month, who made the best save. We'll be doing discussions about that one, and also the contract extensions have been given to some of the players. One player I can confirm to you who has already extended his contract is all about Kyle Walker, who has extended his contract at the camp of Manchester City. The same thing also applies to that Callum Wilson, the player who plays for the team Newcastle. Transfer rumors are ongoing, and the wrangle between Erik ten Hag and Sancho is still going on. And Erik ten Hag actually today has clearly come up saying he doesn't know whether Sancho will be in position to play again for the team of Manchester United. That's actually the biggest breaking news I can give to you as far as the 2 parties are concerned. And I have already given the highlights of the discussion. As I said, there is no Owen Ezaga beside me, no Susie Linda beside me, but on Monday, these 2 pundits actually will be getting into the studios of West Nile TV, joining Benson Pastore, as we will be giving the analysis of how the games transpired over the weekend. Let's start our discussion with what is games of the StarTimes Uganda Premier League, how the games were played yesterday before we talk about the CAF Champions League, Super Cup, before we talk about the CAF Confederations Cup. Let's start it with the university games that are actually started on Tuesday and they are still going on. Today we are not having any game on the card. Actually, the game will return tomorrow, a game between Chambogo University up against Makerere University, and I've been repeating this one. Actually, it's a derby between the 2 universities because they are close to each other. It started on Tuesday with Uganda Matters, and each and every time we always giving you the results of how the games are going. University and Chambogo University, a derby. Meanwhile, game 2, I talked about Muni University when actually they will be playing their game. When I was giving the highlights of the discussion, YMCA on Monday will be having a game up against Makerere University Business School, subtly named as Moves. Then on Tuesday, that's where West Nile actually they can turn to Muni. That's where Muni, of course, they will be playing their game. They will not be playing their game at Ababet Gurula Stadium. Actually, they will be still sitting at their own ground as they take on Indeja University. I gave how they have been pitted in their group. They are in Group C alongside universities like Makerere University. You talk about Chambogo University, Muni themselves, not forgetting about Indeja University. Their game is actually on Tuesday. You can see on the screen, there will be the home side taking on Indeja University. And then on Thursday, Gulu University will be tussling it out with International University of East Africa. Then Friday, one game to be played between Kumi University up against Uganda Christian University. Actually, Uganda Christian University will be taking a trip to Dasi Kumi University. Then on Saturday, Bostema University will actually be sitting at home to take on Dasi Kampala International University. And these games will continue until they reach to Dasi knockout stages. But we are watching the space each and every time. We always be in person to keep you updated of what is transpiring as far as the University League of Uganda is concerned. Shifting our attention from University League, this time we need to take our troop to what is happening in the world of Star Times Uganda Premier League. I did say the excitement is all over Uganda, and if you are a fan of Star Times Uganda Premier League, you should be smiling because the league resumed yesterday. It's not the continuation of last season, but it's a fresh season, 2023/2024 season of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. It started yesterday, and we gave lengthy analysis about some of the games. Let me start with the analysis of the game between Chitara and the team that's Sports Club Villa. We all know that Chitara, they are one of the newly promoted sides alongside teams like NEC FC. You talk about Mbara City. Meanwhile, Sports Club Villa, they are the record champions. When you talk about Ugandan football, people's mind will first go to that Sports Club Villa because they have won the league more than any other side. They have gone on to win the league 16 times, but they have stayed for more than a decade minus winning the league. The last time they won the league has stayed for a long more than a decade. That's Sports Club Villa for you. But last season they came close, but they could not be in position to win the title, as the only thing they could do was to see that they finished in the third position. Actually, they lost it in the final day into the hands of the team that's a Sports Club Vipers, but that's not the point of discussion. I was just flashing back and bringing you the highlights of how the team of Sports Club Villa has been performing. They played against the team that's Chitara FC. They were actually at Mutesatu Stadium, their own ground, but the team Chitara FC proved it too hard for them to see that they actually beat them by 2-1. And over the summer transfer window, we saw some of their key players last season leaving them. The likes of Charles Ebale. I've been giving this one. He has gone to the Rwandan Premier League. You also talk about Gifty Fred, their captain by then, also decided to leave them to join their neighbors, that's Young Africans. But they were also able to pick some few players. One player I can give you as an example is all about the return of Gavin Kizito, who had once been their captain. He left the club to go to the Egyptian Premier League to sign for Etihad. He returned to the club, but still, with such kind of good players, they could not be able to collect the 3 points, even a mere point against a resilient Chitara side. They are financially stable. I said this one. They have gone on to sign so many good players that have been into the league before. That's Chitara. That's why they were able to pick the win against Sports Club Villa. And Sports Club Villa, they are under the stewardship of a foreign coach. The name of the coach is all about Stojanovic. He's someone from Serbia, and he has ever worked with Micho before. Their head coach is actually a foreigner from Serbia called Stojanovic. We thought that it was going to be a very good starting point for the team of Sports Club Villa, but all in all, the bragging rights, of course, have gone into the hands of the newly promoted side, that's Chitara. That was the other game played. Meanwhile, there was also another encounter between Bright Stars and the team that's Bull FC. Bull FC, the last 3 to 4 seasons, they have actually been playing a very good football, dominating. They have actually been one of the best, I should say, because recently we saw them winning the Stanbic Uganda Cup. I remember very well beating the team of Sports Club Vipers by 3-1, where we saw a certain player from the name has just skipped out of my mind, from the team of Bull FC. It should be Emmanuel Oket firing a brace. But in the last 3 years, they have been actually performing very well. Recently, we saw them clinching a precursor tournament. I am talking about FIFA Super 8, beating also another big side. So they have started the season on a high gear, beating the team that's Bright Stars by 1-0. Actually, they were away from home. The goal scorer, the guy who actually created the difference between the two teams, was actually Tezikwe. This is actually a new striker for them. They have signed him over the summer transfer window. Tezikwe made sure that he sealed the 3 points for the team, that's Bull FC. They have also gone for a new coach, a coach in the names of Abe Chikwemekwe, and Bull is one team that has done a lot in restructuring the team ahead of the new season, which has just begun, and a new coach being brought in the system. They have not only done a restructuring in signing players and also the technical and tactical team, they have also done a lot of restructuring in them. So we are yet, and tactical team, they have also done a lot of restructuring in them. So we are yet to see, and I did say this is actually a team. I remember the second phase of last season, they never won any game after having impressive performance in the first phase of season. In the first phase of the season, I am talking about last season. But this time, after seeing that the second phase of the season was not a good one for them, they felt that they should start it in a good note. That's why we saw them beating the side Bright Stars by a goal to nil. That was not only the game played, we also had another tense game, a game full of tension, as we saw Mbara City tussling it out with the NEC FC. These two sides, alongside Chitara, they have been the newly promoted sides ahead of the new season of the StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Actually, the team NEC FC, we are away to Kateka, though I gave it like a draw for the team, that's in Mbara City, but all in all, NEC FC proved me wrong. They proved my prediction wrong, because it has been something very difficult for a foreign team going to the home ground of Mbara City at Kateka, coming back with the 3 points. I thought that the history was going to continue, but NEC said no, we are under a different gaffer. This time we can be in position to pick all the things against the team, that's Mbara City at Kateka, and the game ended in a slim win in favor of NEC FC. The same scoreline that was represented by the team, Bull FC over Bright Stars. Still, we are having so many games to be played. The Axons are getting back not today but tomorrow, with the game between KCA and Express being postponed just because the team of KCA, as I talk right now, they are that side of Libya to play in the preliminary round of the CAF Confederations Cup, and they are playing a team called Absalam. That's why their game between the game between KCA Kasasiro Boys against the Wankuru based club Express has been moved ahead. When the game is going to be played, the date has not been rescheduled, but will be in position to tell you when, of course, the game between KCA and the team Express is going to be played. But we still have got so many games to be played tomorrow. The first one I want to start with is actually between the team Gaddafi FC up against the Vipers Sports Club. Gaddafi FC will be sitting at home to welcome those Vipers. Vipers in the recent concluded tournament, FIFA Super 8, actually they have not been performing very well. Meanwhile, also the preliminary round of the CAF Champions League, they were eliminated by a certain side, Jianeng Galaxy, a team that comes from Botswana. They were eliminated. Now the only hope for the team of Vipers to see that they win the StarTimes Uganda Premier League title, and also at the same time they defend the Stanbic Uganda Cup, because last season they won the double, winning the StarTimes Uganda Premier League title and at the same time winning that Stanbic Uganda Cup. We saw them beating the team Bright Stars in the final of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. In case they win that one, Vipers, of course, will become the second team alongside the team Sports Club Villa to win Uganda Premier League title consecutively 3 times. I want to repeat it again. It has been in the hands of the team, that's Sports Club Villa, who has gone on to win the StarTimes Uganda Premier League title more than 2 times. In case Vipers, they play very good football, it will be the first of its time we are seeing them joining the record that has been kept in the pot by the team of Sports Club Villa. The last time, I also want to give this statistics to the viewers. The last time, it has, in fact, the last 4 years, we have not seen KCA winning any trophy in Ugandan football. That means the last 4 years, KCA actually, they have been finishing the season minus winning a trophy. Not even the title, not even the Stanbic Uganda Cup, but Gaddafi up against the Vipers. And we have seen them recently terminating the contract of the foreign players they signed. Yesterday we discussed the length about the termination of the contract of these foreign players. I don't want to repeat it again. So there will be traveling away to Gaddafi. Meanwhile, for Gaddafi, they have also sold so many good players. I can give an example with Jamaldine Bokokera, a guy who comes from Rwanda and has also joined a Rwandese side, a team called Gasogi United, and also recently Marvin Ngonde, who has decided to join Jogos. That's what I can give you as far as the update of the game between Gaddafi and the team Viper Sports Club is concerned. Away from that, another tense game is actually between UPDF and the team URA, you can call them, Uganda Revenue Authority Football Club. UPDF, to me, they have been dormant in the ongoing summer transfer window. Meanwhile, the team, their opponent, they are going to play tomorrow, tomorrow in the evening. URA, they have actually done a lot in restructuring the team. They have gone on to unveil 13 players. That's URA for you. And the summer transfer window in Africa is still going on, and we never know, they can even go on to unveil 15 players. But as I talk right now, they have unveiled 13 new players. That's URA for you. And they have also sown exit door for so many players, more than 10 players. I remember 12 have been confirmed. 12 players that have left the camp of URA have been confirmed, which means this is a team that has prepared a lot ahead of the new season, of the Star Times Uganda Premier League. They'll be facing a team that struggled a lot last season. I'm talking about UPDF. Actually, last season was not a good one for them, as they were in the pot fighting relegation with teams like Ondoparaka. You talk about Blacks Power, not forgetting about Busoga. But for UPDF, alongside Busoga, they were able to survive the relegation. This time, a very big test for them tomorrow at the initial stages of the new season. They'll be sitting at home at Military Bombo Playground to take on the team URA. One player whom I'll be watching is actually Moses Aliro, a guy URA actually signed from the team Wakiso Giants. Meanwhile, leaving that fixture there is also another game between Wakiso Giants up against Maroons. This is actually a tense game. Of late, Wakiso Giants, they have been known of nurturing players for some of the teams that are playing within the country and also teams that are playing outside the country. Remember, the player Moses Aliro I've just talked about has left them to join URA, and he has been one of their best players. Before that, we have also seen some of the good players, Wakiso Giants have nurtured, joining a side in USCA. So Maroons of late, Wakiso Giants of late, they have been known of nurturing good players for the rest of the teams, feeding teams that are playing within the country and also outside the country. So it's going to be a tense game, and it will be Maroons traveling away to Wakiso Giants, and the game will actually be at Kavumba Recreational Center. We are yet to see how that game is going to be played and the kind of result it will generate on the table. But Maroons, just like Wakiso Giants, they have also lost a number of good players. But to me, it's a 50-50 game. I want to be surprised if this game actually will end in a draw. Leaving that one there, and also another game I feel I should not leave out is Express up against KCA. Yeah, I said this one is postponed because KCA is having a game up against Abdasalam, a team they are going to play in the CAF Confederations Cup. Leaving the fixtures of the Star Times Uganda Premier League, I forgot one vital thing. I've not talked about the game between Arua Hill Sports Club and Busoga. This game is also tomorrow, and the lunchtime kickoff time, which means the game is going to be at 2 p.m. Arua Hill Sports Club up against Busoga. Busoga had given the statistics of how they performed last season. They struggled a lot. Meanwhile, for Arua Hill Sports Club, they were able to finish in top 4, but they did not take part in the FIFA 8 tournament, just because financially they were still working on the issues within the camp. They were withdrawn, and in fact they withdrew themselves, and it was the team Bright Stars that replaced the team Arua Hill Sports Club. This game is not going to be taking place at Barifa Stadium, the own ground of Arua Hill Sports Club, as we are all aware that the stadium has been vandalized by unknown people. That's why they have changed they have changed their home ground. That means this game is going to be taking place in Germany and at Paris Stadium, the home ground for German Football Club. The German Football Club, they were relegated from FIFA Big League. This time they are going to play in the Nile zone of West Nile Regional League, which means at the initial stages, at the beginning, Aruekele Sports Club, they will be hosting their games at Paris Stadium, that side of Ajumani district. Leaving that one there before we go for the first half break, because we are only left with the 3 minutes for us to go for the break. We need to take a look at something about the CAF Champions League, Super Cup, and at the same time CAF Confederations Cup. But let's start with the CAF Confederations Cup. Why actually we are going to talk about it is all about we having one team from the country that's going to raise the flag of the country in case they happens to play good football and prosper. That's the Kasasiro boys up against that's Absalam, a team that comes from Libya. It's yet Absalam. It's yet the preliminary round. In case they happens to go past the team that's Absalam, we will see them going to the next round and to the group stages of the CAF Confederations Cup. That's what I can give you as far as the update of KCA up against that's Absalam, a team that comes from Libya, is concerned. As I talk right now, the team is already that side of Libya, and the return leg of this game will take place on 30th of this particular month. The last day for this month to come to an end, 2023, will be the reverse fixer. The team that progresses in aggregate will go to the next round. And as I said, for Vipers, they have already been eliminated. Meanwhile, for the team that's KCA, they are still fighting for their fate, and their coach, that's Traguili, has clearly come up saying that his team can actually fight and they can be in position to reach to the group stages of the CAF Confederations Cup. And away from that story, I did say the Super Cup of the CAF Champions League was also played yesterday night. It was a game between USM Alger taking on the team that's Al Ahly. I don't know if you are aware that Al Ahly, just like Real Madrid, they are the record winners of the CAF Champions League. They have gone on to win the competition 11 times more than any other African club. Mamelodi Sundowns has not even done that one. Esperance has not even done that one. Wydad Casablanca has not even done that one. Orlando Pirates has not even done that one. Kaizer Chiefs, they have not even done that one. But they have gone on to win the title 11 times more than any other team. They are just like Real Madrid, who is also having the record of winning UEFA Champions League more than any other team. And I remember in the FIFA Club World Cup of last season, we saw the team that's Al Ahly of Egypt playing Real Madrid. Unfortunately, they could not be in position to contain the pressure from the three amigos of Real Madrid. They lost that game. And the thing which actually surprised me by then was the team Al Ahly eliminating the team of Flamingo, and by then Flamingo had the likes of David Luiz in the team. That means our African teams are very strong. USM Alger did beat Young Africans, our neighbors from Tanzania, in the finals. Meanwhile, for the team that's Al Ahly of Egypt, they were able to beat the team that's Wydad Casablanca, a team that comes from Morocco. And in most cases, not in most cases, it's for the CAF Champions League Super Cup, it's a game between the team that wins the CAF Confederations Cup playing against the team that wins the CAF Champions League. Just in Europe, the team that wins the UEFA Champions League playing against